Nice story, taught the Reader's Digest. Feeling paranoid, true enemy or false friend. Anxiety's attacking me, my air is getting thin. I'm in trouble for the things I haven't got to yet. I'm chomping at the bit and my palms are getting wet. Sweating bullets! Hello me, it's me again. You can subdue but never tame me. It gives me a migraine headache.
The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan.
He's dying.
I was trying to remember one of the sounds from Metal Gear Solid, and I just totally forgot it. Snake! The DARPA chief. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan. I'm going to give you a little warning here. I am having trouble seeing. I don't know what that was. I'm having literal trouble seeing, and the last time this happened to me, I was out for like 4 hours in deep, deep pain. Cameron is saying it's a migraine. I thought it was that I didn't drink enough or eat enough salt, and was
sucking a brick
drinking
in the corner.
too much water up at scout camp, which is the last time this happened to me. But this is a possible migraine symptom. So if there is no Metal Gear Solid review, it's because I bowed out halfway through this thing, and the other guys are just going to have to take over. But I'm Joe.
I'm Caleb Craig.
Cameron.
And Caleb Schweiss.
Once again, we should be doing the Metal Gear Solid review today, despite the fact I have to read my notes, which is a real problem here. We will try to push through and do that.
We'll just let our famous orator, Caleb, read your notes.
Oh, see, then he has to look. Oh, Caleb Craig?
Yeah. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
He's great.
But before we get into any of that, what has everybody been playing?
Oh, let's see. This week I've been playing Resident Evil 7. That one's a good one. Been playing Destiny 2. And then, a handful of other games.
A handful? Hold on. Tell us what they are.
Just a handful of games.
That's not cool, man. You're supposed to say what you've been playing.
I'll say what they are in a moment.
Okay. All right. Cameron?
I have been playing Destiny 2.
You bought it, huh?
I did.
Destiny as well? Or
I bought it for $45.
Destiny 2 too?
Destiny 2.
You could have rented it from Redbox for $3 a day.
Yeah, but now I own it.
Yeah, but
$3 a day? What kind of jack-off price is that?
That's pretty
ridiculous.
good if you decided to beat the game in a couple days.
yeah, it's $6.
Yeah, but if you're playing for multiplayer reasons, like there's no reason to do that.
Well, it caps out.
If it's like a single player
Try it
game,
out.
then yeah,
I think
$3 and then you like plow through it and then turn it back in.
if it's like what they do with movies, they cap it out at the price.
I
of the
wonder
game.
if Redbox ever rented out Persona 5. That would have been really funny.
Oh, boy.
They probably have.
Oh, man. And then I also played Medal of Honor.
Which one?
Medal of Honor.
The PS1 game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one in the series.
How was that?
Surprisingly, it's playable. No, surprisingly, I had fun playing it. The default control scheme is fucked up to no other.
Oh, yeah, where X is shoot?
Yeah, X is shoot. And
No, there's a lot of games where
it's like, no, it's not just that. It's like all the controls are like They do.
Are they all GoldenEye controls? Are they all?
It's like the left stick was to look up and down. The right stick was to look left and right, and then forward on the right stick. And then the other stick was to. It was all of the controls are all fucked up. So I've decided that the
what you just said makes no sense.
Fourth page of the controls is best, and it auto aims you like a fucking bitch, but actually that makes it much more playable. So. You just have to aim in the general vicinity of the enemy, and you're going to hit them. So,
okay,
yeah,
sounds awesome.
Yeah, actually,
you having fun?
Yeah, I'm having fun.
That's good.
It's just think of a dumbed down 007 GoldenEye.
Dumbed down
without a controller that removes
How
all.
would it be dumbed down?
It's dumbed down compared to 007 GoldenEye.
I mean, GoldenEye is it's pretty stripped down to the basics there.
You got to play it and you'll understand.
I don't think you've played GoldenEye in a while.
I have played GoldenEye.
Thank you, Jake.
Medal of Honor is dumbed down from 007 GoldenEye. I'm just saying, you play it, you'll understand.
Caleb probably already has this week. I have been playing. Are you done, Cameron?
Well, he only said 2 games. I don't know.
I played a bit of Costume Quest 2. I cleaned up the last couple trophies in that game. I played a little bit of Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age. I played Ratchet and Clank Size Matters.
How was that?
PSP. Wouldn't recommend it.
Does size matter?
Yeah, size matters.
So get the console versions.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. I also played Silent Hill Origins on the PSP. I played a little bit of... Actually, no, I didn't. I didn't play Valkyrie this week. Let's see what else. I played Vanquish on the PS3 for a while, and I think that's about it. About it for me, yeah. That's all.
Nice.
Yeah.
Joe?
I have played 1 game this week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, guess what it is?
Well, I'm thinking that it's Tactics.
It's called Final Fantasy Tactics. I don't know any game called Tactics. But it has been it's been a journey of a lot of restarts. That's what that has been.
You gotta get good.
You gave me ways to make the game easier, and thank goodness you did, because I don't even know what I would do. The game is still hard.
Oh yeah, it's not an easy game. You should.
Doesn't matter the auto potions.
I told you that it was gonna be.
Gosh, it's rough, dude. Gafgarian is an a-hole.
Yeah, he is. He's not quite the a-hole of some later guys, but
no,
those guys' a-holes are like galactic.
Galactic a-holes.
Yeah, we're talking black hole in the center.
Yeah.
It's a good gay porn site. Not that I know.
Well, you obviously do. know more than us.
Can you indulge me, Craig, before I go into a coma? What'd you think of my movie?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There's like some weird sound things, but maybe
There
it
was
was
some weird
because
sound things.
because I was listening to it with my headphones on, and I was like, "What?" And then was there supposed to be blurring at the end there?
Blurring.
There's like some like trailing going on.
Trailing?
Yeah, so like when the guy would move, you could like see like outlines of where he had been.
No.
Okay, well I saw that.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's your TV and that Blu-ray, I guess, having problems.
Maybe. But yeah, I was
Maybe.
like, what the fuck? Because I didn't see that any other it oddly kind of worked with like what was going on.
Okay.
Because there was like the LSD pills.
All it was
And then
slow-mo.
like, well, no, like he was like, he had seen God, like, and it was like,
Spoilers.
like trailing, and just like, like it was on drugs or whatever. I was like, what the fuck?
Dylan called my masterpiece The Solar Ring, which me and him and Garth Daybell made in high school. Do you think that's a better movie or worse movie?
It's a way better movie.
Okay.
It's a better movie than anything else you've done.
The camera
Thank you.
itself costs more than his life, so
Yeah.
Schweiss and Cam were pretty good in it.
Good job, guys.
Good cameos. Yeah, I keep telling everybody it's a movie about a guard who knows who locked Brian David Mitchell in his cage. And his guard sidekick.
That's all your thoughts there, huh? Weird sound thing, weird blurry vision thing. Cameron, we're good.
I don't know. I think I'd have to watch it again. I was watching it in a rush, basically.
You watched the whole thing. How was that watching it in a rush?
The feeling of rushness made it so we couldn't do it.
I couldn't really pay attention to every minute detail.
Were you bored or were you interested in it?
I was interested. I wasn't doing anything else while I was watching it.
All right, that's good. That's the number one sign. If you were not bored watching this movie, it's good.
I love how you had the pills labeled LSD.
Here's the thing with that. And some people have been like, stupid. It's actually is accurate to the time period.
They had pills.
They were
labeled
so
LSD.
We made I had my production designer look into what LSD came in at the time. Now there were like the off-market LSD that people would make at home. They put them in little stickers, there'd be little tabs or something like that. And that's the thing that you commonly see. But actually, if you got LSD from the university sources, which my idea was that maybe that's where his father might have gotten, because he was a big time professor at the university, that he might have actually gotten them that way. And they were manufactured, and it said LSD on the front, and we recreated the labels 100%. So that is the most historically accurate thing in that movie.
Okay, because I thought
it's the thing
funny.
I get the most crap for.
Yeah, Alex mentioned that too.
The thing I give him
that it was legit.
The thing I give him most crap for is the man child.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I chuckle every time I hear that guy start like, "Mom." He sounds like a little kid. I laughed during the premiere too. When we watched it.
It was kind of jarring for me to look at that guy, and I was like, "What?
Is that the guy that's the model?"
Yeah, he's a model.
Yeah, that I'm like, what about as well? I don't know. That's rude.
He's not a good-looking guy.
Well, he made his hair really gross, and he was for the 70s look. And
still, though,
is that? Oh, wait, in this movie? Is that what you're saying?
Movie, yeah.
Oh,
so he's like got a part down the middle, and
he just looks like a little kid.
Yeah,
which is
that's the point.
No, I know.
This is a really rough movie, and it's going to be really hard to convince someone's parents to let him be in that thing. So we had to get someone who just looked
young.
Yeah, and it works, but I still laugh at the voice.
I don't know. I've gotten bad comments on the casting of him, which we didn't really have that much choice, and I'm really grateful that he did it for free, which he did. And then I've also got a review that said he was really good, and I've had a couple other people say like, "Yeah, he was really good."
I think he's fine. Yeah, I don't mind it.
And
I just laugh at his voice.
crapshoot.
He was
their
fine.
noses match.
He was fine.
Yeah, they
but it
do
was
actually. I mean, one of them is like 5 inches taller than the other, but
yeah,
that's why we never had him stand up. Never had him stand up on that entire thing. He's like 12 feet tall.
Yeah.
And then the guy who plays him as an adult is like 5 feet tall. So.
Emmanuel, why you short?
They take out your spine? Like, what the fuck?
It was all that stuff. What do you think of the cinematography?
It was really good. You could it hid a lot of the cheap effects that I noticed you had
Effects?
to have. Well, like the room that they were interrogating him in was clearly an unfinished basement.
That's not. It's not.
Or whatever it was.
It was a sound recording room.
Yeah. Because like
we're looking all over the place for. I'm surprised you're saying that and not the wooden bars.
Oh yeah, well there was that, but
yeah. Slaved over those for 2 weeks. By the way,
clink, clink, clink.
Had to make those.
a lot of chain noises.
There
to
was
cover over the other noises.
My big problem was with the sound, because like he did give me a way better sound mix than what we gave him, but there were still some details that needed to be worked out. But we had to show the movie, and so there just wasn't enough time to like get it all nailed down. So there's like 3 sound issues in that movie that drive me nuts. But you know, whatever. We made it for $2,000. So it's pretty good looking for a $2,000 movie.
It's true.
In my opinion. It looks a lot better than Clerks, which was made for $23,000. So just think about that. Just think about that.
Does it
Yeah, but
look
they probably
better than
bought the
Clerks?
camera.
It really does look better than Clerks. What was that?
So they probably bought the camera.
I think they took the camera from one of their film schools, and then they bought the film for it. It was 16 millimeter stuff, so we're already working at a higher image quality than that. Just saying, just saying.
Yeah, but I laughed at Clerks many times, and I only laughed once at this movie.
And was that something that was not supposed to be laughed at?
No, it wasn't. And then I laughed at remembering the all day long when we were just talking about the consequence-free erotic play.
Yeah.
That made me laugh forever.
We shouldn't have said that before Craig watched the movie, because now that line sticks out.
It did anyway. I was like,
You should have seen it, dude. There was one time when he
Well,
he
how
had
sick in the stomach did you feel watching that movie?
not really.
Not really? Okay.
there was a part behind the scenes where he actually, when he was like showing him the one picture that he had in his hand, it was like a picture of two kids, I think, and like he was like, "Can you get another picture here, please? Like this is too much." It's like children younger than these, and it's like two little happy kids, like Joe's like nieces and nephews.
They weren't that. They were Hector's pictures.
Oh, were they really?
Oh, it was something in
They were
there.
like family pictures.
And the guy couldn't do it. He's like, I just can't. It can't be this one or something like that. I can't remember what he said, but it was really good. That was funny.
Yeah, he improvised a lot because I had a speech worked out. And I don't think he memorized his lines all the way. It was like part of the problem, and also part of the problem was like we had initially had young Brian David Mitchell was much younger, and we had to go older because of the issue we talked about just a second ago. And so he had to basically make up his lines there. So consequence-free erotic play, though, is my line. But a lot of the other stuff is his. So it's funny watching that scene of like we did 2 takes, and it was the most cramped, horrible, like getting into that room with the camera on that angle so that it was wide. It was such a pain. I couldn't stand in the room because there was not enough room. There was the camera operator and then the first AC, and that was it. And so I couldn't hear when the cuts were done or anything. I could only see a little monitor. Yeah, it was a pain. But anyway, I'm glad you watched it, finally.
Yeah.
Final freaking Lee. Took you long enough.
There was a weird moment when adult Brian Mitchell was like slapping the interrogator guy.
moment?
No, it was
Okay.
just like the way it looked. He was like he had the belt, and it looked like he was holding the belt and his hand like really close to his chest, like instead of like actually extending out.
Well, he was right below him.
Oh, I know, but it was just like a really weird image of him just like, it's like, it looked like he was beating him with like a T-Rex arm. It's like,
That's what it looks like with you describing it too.
I never noticed anything like that.
it just kind of looked weird to me. And I was like, okay. But I don't know.
We were trying to recreate the 2001 Space Odyssey thing where he has the bone,
Oh,
the monkey.
yeah.
So it was sort of that angle. We had to crop it in a little bit, but then we tried to match it with the other stuff. Then we shot the other stuff differently, so it didn't match as well. I was mad. But I'm fine with it now. I don't care anymore. Move on to the next thing. Has anybody beaten a game?
Yep. All right. So I beat.
Well, let me and Cameron say no.
What makes you think that I didn't beat a game?
Cameron, did you beat a game?
No.
You didn't beat that Destiny 2?
No, so I was going to last night, but I'm like, I'm too tired. I'll do it in the morning. Then I didn't.
How far did you get?
I'm like right at the end, so
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right.
Probably do it when I get home.
I
Good.
did. Craig, what did you beat?
All right. I beat Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22.
Got to be at
Super
least
Smash-
21 years old.
Super Smash Bros. Wii U. Final Fantasy 6. Tomb Raider.
You beat Final Fantasy 6?
Yeah.
How long have you been working on that?
Forever. I was basically
Is that your first time ever beating it?
Yeah, I was at Kefka
What'd
for
you
like
think?
a while. It was all right.
What happened to you?
No,
You were
okay.
the biggest Final Fantasy fan when we were in high school. What
I don't
have
know.
you done?
I
Okay.
betrayed him is what happened.
It just, I really like the characters, or at least the handful of characters. I don't like that it has like 12 characters that it tries to force you into at the end. I just don't like this. This is a lot of stuff I don't like about
Listen
6.
to our FF6 review and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it'll change your mind. I'm just wondering, like, what your thoughts against ours would be.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay, so FF6.
And then Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, you beat Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
You're such a
boy.
fuck, dude. 5 games, Craig?
Yeah. Want to suckle at my teeth. Maybe some
That's
of
a
my
big teat, too.
Yeah, it is. be well nourished to play those games.
Get those
Schweiss.
short and curlies between your teeth.
Yum, yum.
All right.
He's got
You want
soft,
the biddy?
beautiful breasts.
I beat 3 games this week.
Felt them in the pool.
And you thought you were hot
This
shit too,
consensual,
huh?
I did.
right, Craig?
I mean, I don't care, so I guess.
So that is consensual, honestly.
I beat Costume Quest 2. I beat Silent Hill Origins.
How was that compared to the first one?
Better.
Better?
Yes.
No tank
controls are
control?
better. No, they're not tank controls. Camera's controllable. The voice acting is better.
How is the camera controllable on a PSP?
L and R. Or you just press R or L and it'll like face the direction he's facing.
Okay.
And I also beat Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. Would not recommend.
Does size matter?
Yes.
We already made the joke.
I made a joke.
So
I
the
had to pull my
hog
Joe.
for the host is as follows. Caleb Craig. Oh, wait. Did I do all of mine? I did. Jesus Christ. Caleb Craig in the lead with 37.
Yes.
Me in second place with 31. Cameron in third place at 15. And Joe in last at 13.
Almost exactly.
Oh,
half of second
Cam,
place.
you're like 2 ahead of Joe. You got to get up there.
I'm gonna beat a game tonight, and then
It's true.
I'm gonna beat Medal of Honor pretty soon because it's so easy.
Relatively
But,
short.
yeah, it's so easy and short.
Well, I am appalled at what you've done, Caleb.
I could have beaten Resident Evil 7, but I wanted to wait until I had the VR and to go through it with that. So I went through half of the game on that 3-hour stream I had. It is apparently a very short game, and there's a trophy for beating it in like 4 hours. And Dylan told me that he beat it in like 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I should have it done relatively quickly.
I'm looking at 3 of these last few games of yours, and I think each of them are under 2 hours. The Smash Bros. Wii.
That one is fucking hard.
The Pigeon fucking game. And
Wait, Pigeon game?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
beat
the one
my
we dates
had a full
pigeons.
boyfriend, yeah.
It's your
Oh,
game.
had a full boy. Okay.
And then Dragon Ball Z.
You know, you had a full boyfriend, or you at least had the chance
You
to get
had the full
it.
boyfriend.
Caleb, I just feel like this
You know,
is
if you
impure.
feed him well.
What are you doing, man?
If you had fed him well, you would have had a full boyfriend.
Wow. Wow, Joe. Way to take forever to make that joke.
I cannot concentrate right now, guys.
You gonna be okay to
I
do the
don't
review?
know.
You should probably sit up and find out.
I don't. This feels way more comfortable, I'll be honest.
How? How does that feel more comfortable?
Well, Craig, I'm not 400 pounds, so I can get in this position.
Well, I know you can get in
I
that
can
position, but I
experience
don't know how it's more
The
comfortable.
beauty of my legs spread wide. I'm sure this looks disgusting on camera. I don't care right now.
Yeah, your stomach's coming out a little bit.
It's coming out. How's it coming out? Oh, you mean my undershirt? Anyway. Okay, well, Caleb Craig's, once again, continuing to be in the lead. Did you just decide this week to just make sure that you couldn't be caught up to like an a-hole?
I decided to put some distance between Schweiss and I.
Why? I thought
For his betterment.
This is all just
It'll
to
make him stronger.
This is all to make you dig deep, man.
I mean, Bane broke Batman's back, and then he came back stronger for it.
Yeah,
I don't
but then
think
he
his
died.
back was stronger for it.
No, he didn't.
He does die at the end of that movie.
No, he didn't.
Caleb.
He didn't die.
Twice.
He had a nuke, and it blew up.
All right, he'll die in a couple
The
of
man's
years.
dead.
Well, he didn't die in the comics.
What makes you think
It
he
doesn't
didn't?
matter.
What makes
He'll
you
never
think-
die in the
What makes you think he didn't eject?
He's
the
died
last
multiple
moment and
times
have
in the
nuke carried
comics.
off?
Because he would still be close. I think that he's totally dead, Caleb. Come on.
Nah.
He's alive. It's very clear.
Yeah, he's
Michael
alive.
Caine sees him at the end.
No, Michael Caine sees what he wants to see.
Okay, all right.
Are you serious right now? You think he's alive?
Yeah, he's alive.
Dude.
He's alive with Catwoman.
Because the movie doesn't set up, you see what you... There's nothing like that in the movie. There
He's
would be,
dead, dude.
Christopher Nolan's brother is a good enough screenwriter to know that you don't just like have a ending that doesn't have like a meaning to it, or is like you don't have like a red herring ending just to F with people.
Well, it
you do
doesn't-
it for a reason. There's no reason set up in the end of Batman to be like, well, you see what you want to see.
Well, it's
There's
over.
no one says that line or anything similar
it's
to
the
it.
Sopranos ending. It's done, so it doesn't
No,
matter if
but
he's
he
alive
doesn't
or not.
see himself die and then breathe for a second or something. It's not the Inception ending.
No, it
the
isn't
Inception
the-
ending makes sense with the movie thematically, but Dark Knight Rises, no, that doesn't. No, he lives because he's there.
totally alive.
I think
He's
you guys
totally
are
alive.
both totally
He's fucking
wrong.
Batman. He can't die.
He is totally gone.
No.
in either
No,
way,
he's alive.
I think he's dead, dude. Are
He's
you
alive,
kidding me?
and he's banging Anne Hathaway.
He is. I would live through a nuclear bomb to do that.
Well, yeah, but there's you guys are
I
crazy.
mean, who wouldn't? If you could.
You guys are nuts. The guy's dead. That's going to be my question from us to you: is did Batman die at the end of Dark Knight Rises?
And
You
every
say
answer
yes,
will
you're
be
a
yes.
retard.
Exactly, because he did.
No.
But either way, the series ended, which is why it's a Sopranos ending. So it doesn't matter if he's alive or
Did
dead.
Bruce Wayne die?
No.
Is the
Batman
question.
died.
Exactly. That's the point. Batman's dead, but Bruce Wayne lives on.
Oh my goodness!
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, you got a question for us?
I do have a question. I have a couple, actually.
Okay.
All right. So the first question is one that we should have probably answered a while ago. It is consumption hog ruling from Rob Lennon. He says, I wanted to know if I could get a special ruling on the consumption hog. I am an independent game designer. My medium is cards and dice, and my games are sports related, although I have one fantasy game in development stage. This is not an attempt to promote my site. I will send each of the hosts a link to my website via Twitter. If anyone else is interested, they can either send me a message here or tweet it out at Diggin' Deep Games. I currently have 11 different games spanning 8 different sports due to the nature of this niche hobby. Seasons are created at least once every year, similar to how EA Sports or the 2K series pumps out new games every year. Normally, over the course of a year, I can pump out about 6 to 10 seasons across my entire game library. Could me releasing a new season for a new game be counted towards the consumption hog?
God fucking damn it.
What?
None of the sound was going through to the Twitch stream until just now because Jake fucked at the settings.
Oh, man.
I left them alone. I switched it back after my
boy.
stream. God damn it, dude. Thank you, Patman, for fucking telling us that something was up with the stream because we didn't check. I also should have checked to make sure we had sound. I think that this doesn't count. I think that would be like counting getting exercise while you're at work. Like if you stock shelves at Walmart or something like that.
But what about all the media he's consuming to put into his work? Like, could you not keep track of that?
Well, it would depend on what the media is. If he's consuming like movies and TV shows and gaming, then yeah. But if he's watching sports games, then no, that's not something we have Hog set up for.
Well, it would be like, I don't know. How would that work? Even watching sports would just be like the season, be like a television season? How would we even
I don't know.
do that? Because he's also doing it as board games.
Yeah,
we don't have a board game Hog.
To me, yeah, we don't have a board game Hog, and if it's what you do for a living, then it doesn't necessarily count towards the Hog itself. Like, if we have someone that walks a lot at their job, you don't count the 30 minutes, or you don't like count the minutes you spend walking doing your duty as exercise for the super
I
Hog.
fucking would.
I don't
If
think
I'm
you should.
exercising, I'm counting it.
It's supposed to be on top of your daily regimen.
Exercise means exercise. So if it's not part of your regular day,
Exercise.
well, that's how you remember it. If it's not part of your regular day, it's not technically exercise. Or if it is part of your regular day, it's not technically exercise. Like if you would just do it without, like you have to decide to exercise. It's like a thing.
So even if your job was
Well, you might not have to
physically
exercise
intensive.
because you've done a bunch of physically intensive stuff.
I would say that if you're a trainer, then yeah, that you can count that because you are exercising. That happens to be what you
For
do.
exercising's sake.
Yeah, you're exercising because that's it's part of your job, and your job is to be in shape at that point. But
Although I would totally count it, to be honest.
I would count that, yeah. But I don't think I would count like if I stocked at Walmart or some shit. I don't think I'd count that as exercise, even if it was intensive.
If I am carrying packages to and from a truck to someone's doorstep, I'm going to fucking count that as exercise.
Are you?
Yeah.
Does Joe count it?
Joe would not be running unless he had to. Joe doesn't have to run. Joe decides to run. Joe can walk.
Isn't going on a walk exercise now?
If it's going on a walk, yeah. Not just walking to the bathroom and back.
If I walk to work and it takes me 30 minutes to walk to work and 30 minutes to walk back afterwards, I'm counting that.
Yeah,
as
you should
exercise.
count that.
But this is one of those things where you just have to decide whether or not it counts. I don't think a board game is consumption Hog.
Yeah, I mean,
Because you're not.
what I would do is keep better track of what you've consumed to create what you're creating. What have you studied? Like, what have you put together? And then present that as a
stuff. So
yeah.
you can do what,
So
we
present
don't have
that.
a sports Hog.
Present sports magazines or present whatever you use to put together your stuff, and then you can use that as your consumption. We don't have an output Hog yet. I think that would fit under more of our lifestyle Hog that we've been talking
the
about.
Hog that we've been talking about forever and haven't figured out yet.
Yeah.
Life Hog.
Is your
Yeah.
head starting to hurt, Joe?
The light is not feeling good.
Yeah, it's migraine. Welcome to the big boy club.
It's not really like it's not an intense headache. It's just a low throb.
It starts out slow until it
Tiredness.
increases its vice-like grip across your brain.
That's great.
It's hot.
It's not great, guys. I don't like this.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like this that I have a freaking review to do and I can't even like focus right now.
Well, what do you think, Craig?
I don't know. Like, we don't have a board game thing, but yeah, if there's like stuff that you're consuming in order to create this, then I would count that.
Yeah, and I know he goes on to later say that he would love to be part of the normal Hog, but he's just really busy with all this other stuff because of it. And like, I don't know, that kind of sucks, but you either Hog or you don't. I mean, life does get in the way of Hog. And that happens, but I don't know if adding stuff to the Hog would necessarily help. But that is really cool that you do that. I don't know.
I guess you just have to wait for the Life Hog,
Yeah, something like that.
the ultimate version of the Hog.
Yeah, I think that's the only way we could truly implement that with like, I don't know, without it seeming like a super special occasion kind of a thing.
Yeah. And it's 'cause there's nothing for board games, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, how would we even do it? You play a new board game, you get
To
5
completion.
points. Yeah,
Every round of Monopoly.
You must win Monopoly before you can count it as beat.
Yeah, you have to win it. You have to beat a board game.
oh, that would be kind of a cool idea.
And
yeah.
then you have to beat a game of Risk. You have to win Settlers before you can count
Heck
it as
yes,
beat.
dude. Beat a game of Risk. I know one person at this table who can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Schweiss?
Schweiss
Cam
beat me?
Cam?
I haven't beaten Joe.
I don't think we've had
only
a
lost to him
serious
once,
game of
though.
Risk with all of us involved.
That's because I can't get you guys to play Risk to save my freaking.
I vote for Risk every time.
Oh, no, you don't. All of
I
you
love
vote for
Risk.
Catan every
Well,
fucking
Catan's
time.
better.
Because Catan is fun, but I do want to play Risk. I love that game.
Yeah, well, I want
Not
to play
the new-
Monopoly.
not
the new
you,
future
you guys are
Risk.
bitches.
I hate
Risk is
Monopoly.
brutal. Risk is war. Risk.
No,
is
Monopoly is brutal.
Hell.
Monopoly is
Yeah.
war.
Once again,
And never trust Joe. And nobody takes that advice.
it's
Look.
just you say never trust Joe. The fact is, I'm just better at Monopoly than other people, and so I win a lot.
No, it's because you convince them to do the thing that they should not do.
That's part of the game.
I know, and that's why I always say that.
Don't do the gang up on. Beat the game naturally. No need.
I've played Monopoly
No
enough
need
times with you to
politics.
know exactly what's going to happen, and that's why I try to prevent
Then
it.
How do you not beat me if you know exactly how I play?
Because the other people give you
Oh,
exactly
so it's not
what
your
you
fault
want.
ever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's never his
No,
fault.
it's never my fault.
Oh, man.
There's no way it could be because I don't give him his shit.
There he is, King Hog.
I don't give him the shit he needs to win.
Yeah, Caleb, you know what happens to me usually? I don't ever get any property. You know what you can't do?
You know exactly
When
what you
when
do?
that
You get the
happens?
blue properties and then you give it to Joe thinking it'll be a good idea
It's funny
because he
how bad
offered
I-
you a small amount of money. Which you
still
then use to
lose.
buy a small property, which he takes from you in an instant. So that's what happens.
Blue is
you
the
gave
worst
him
place to buy,
exactly what
Caleb.
you
Everyone
what he
knows
wanted.
it.
It's funny how bad I am at video games and how good I am at board games.
Yeah.
At least ones that involve politics.
We should fucking rename Monopoly to The Art of the Deal. And have
It
Joe's
is
face
pretty
on
much,
it.
dude.
It's gonna be a Trump monopoly. This is called the art of the deal.
I'll give you $600 for your railroad.
Best deal.
Railroads are junk, by the way.
It's a good deal. It's a
People
great
who
deal.
love railroads, you know what? They suck at Monopoly. That's
Yeah?
the people who love railroads.
Caleb loves railroads.
I do love the railroads. I have decimated
The
people
max
with
you're
the
gonna
two
get.
brown prories and the railroads, and then the
Yeah, the cheap
the-
properties, yes. Oh, I shouldn't be saying any of this. No. Shouldn't be saying any of this.
because it'll
But-
be used against
No,
you
yeah,
later.
yeah. Everybody get railroads.
Get public
Here's
works
the problem
too.
with the railroads. The max you can do, 200. That's it.
Yeah, that's chump
That's it.
change
It's
later
nothing.
Yeah, but there's always those cards that make you go to the railroads.
on.
Yeah,
So
that's
400
true.
is the absolute max.
And there's like a couple of them.
So you get like a good. They're like 15% more likely to land on a railroad than to land on your property at some point when they go around the.
Oh,
the
it's
thing.
just it's not necessarily a go-to thing. It's just a nice thing to have.
Yeah, it's a nice thing to have if you get it for free. I wouldn't pay a bunch for a railroad. Just saying.
Yeah.
But you can do it. You can do it, Greg. It's fine.
Oh, I know how to play Monopoly. Trust me.
Do you?
Yeah, I beat you once.
You know how many times I've played Monopoly with you?
Yeah, I do, and that's a fucking good thing.
I beat you once. The only person I know who's better at board games than me is Timo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just doing like the figures and numbers thing you see from The Hangover. Just stuff.
It's not that. It's that he's played the games a little bit more than I have. He's just a little bit better at that. He just grew up playing board games.
Oh man, you remember that time we played with Jameson and Ephraim, and he like beat us at Monopoly in like 10 minutes or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, that was a bad game.
Yeah.
That was bad.
That's what happens in
we got
Monopoly.
fucking
Sometimes you just
decimated
get fucked.
instantly.
Monopoly's a much faster
was-
game than people give it credit for.
Yeah.
Because people
Everybody's
play
like,
wrong.
Monopoly lasts forever. No, it doesn't.
We will get free parking and money. No, there's no money on free parking. You know what free parking is? Nothing.
Yeah, you pay
It's a
the
nothing
bank
spot.
You don't put it in the middle, you fucks.
Freaking house rules. Get rid of your house rules and Monopoly becomes a better game, you morons.
Yeah, it becomes like an hour instead of 10.
Max is 2 hours if you play the actual way you're supposed to play Monopoly. The actual amount of money you're supposed to have at the beginning of the game. The actual like free parking
The
rules.
actual rules for
the
everything.
actual rules where you're supposed to auction off your property. If you don't have the money to afford it, you don't just skip past it. Nope. Someone has to buy that property.
Yeah.
And it can go for way cheaper or it can go for way more.
And people right now, their brains are exploding hearing this.
I know. They're like,
what?
That's a rule?
Free parking is not a giant paycheck that makes the game last 5 times freaking longer? No, it's not.
Yeah, give Monopoly another try with the actual rules.
I just think Settlers is like way better and way more fun than Monopoly is.
It's all right.
Monopoly
is
Settlers
the best.
What?
We're saying opposite things.
It's just so much better. I don't know.
Okay.
Monopoly's pure luck.
Do you have a... Let's talk about Metal Gear Solid before I die.
All right.
It's an extremely sensitive covert operation. You'll be one man against an entire squad of high-tech special ops. If you want to survive, you gotta have brains. You have to be in peak physical condition. The fate of the free world is in your hands, soldier. Failure is not an option.
Sir, aren't these tests kind of easy?
Suicide mission.
Metal Gear Solid.
Okay, so Metal Gear Solid is the sequel to Metal Gear Solid 2. Or, sucks.
Metal Gear Solid 2?
Damn it. Sequel to Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. It was originally going to be called Metal Gear 3, but due to Metal Gear 2's limited release, which was basically only in Japan, and it was called something else when it came here, they chose to name it Metal Gear Solid. Also, they were switching systems, so the Metal Gear 2 was like on a computer system that was very specific, and they started Metal Gear 3's development on something else and then decided to switch to the PlayStation. Development began in 1995 by the company Konami, and the project was helmed by Metal Gear 2 director and Metal Gear 1 designer Hideo Kojima, who's very famous because of this series. From the beginnings, it was made with the goal of being the best PlayStation game ever, and they seem to have hit that goal since its release in 1998. It has been heralded as one of the greatest games of all time. So I guess we can just go straight into story real quick. Ever since we had a mental breakdown off screen with the Fable review, we try at Nude Clan to keep story synopsis kind of short and to the point, but that is highly difficult to do with Metal Gear Solid since the plot is so windy and there's lots of characters, but I'll try to kind of briefly cover it. So genetically modified super soldiers turned terrorists take over an Alaskan nuclear weapons facility housing a mech robot with nuclear bomb capabilities, I guess, called Metal Gear Rex. And they want $1 billion from the U.S. government. And the U.S. government doesn't want to do that, so they send in Solid Snake, U.S. super spy, to stop the attack. Going through the facility piece by piece, Snake meets up with hostages Donald Anderson, who dies, spoiler alert, Kenneth Baker, who also dies, Meryl Silverberg, who has a nice butt, and Hal Otacon Emmerich, who I kept on calling Octagon,
who also has
my
a nice butt.
Eyes were playing a trick on me. Yeah, also a nice butt. Yeah. It's part of the, yeah. He's an otaku. Apparently, he really likes Japanese anime, and it drives me absolutely nuts. So along with those allies, Snake is helped by his radio contacts, some of who are not who they seem. Dun, dun, dun. After many codes, keys, foxhound boss fights, sniper shootouts, hostage escapes, and betrayals. This is in an 8-hour game, by the way. Snake unwittingly starts up Metal Gear Rex. Instead of stopping it, it has to destroy it along with his mysterious ally, Gray Fox, who dies. Some dude named Big Boss is behind all of this, but it's Liquid Snake that Solid Snake has to defeat at the end. Turns out, spoiler alert for Metal Gear Solid, you might want to skip ahead a few seconds. Turns out Solid Snake is also a genetically engineered super soldier, clone from Big Boss, the guy who's the head of this organization, and given all the dominant genes. This is where the game gets really dumb. He's given all the dominant genes, while Liquid Snake is given the recessive genes. And as such is not as good, is what his explanation was, which is not correct. If he is in fact talking about dominant and recessive genes, that is not necessarily correct.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
I've got blue eyes.
Anyway,
He's got brown.
anyway, Solid and Liquid have a fist fight. Solid wins if you know how to play the game, and escapes with Meryl, and basically ends just like the first Halo. They escape the facility, and then that's sort of how the game ends. I think they get away with some plans for Metal Gear, which is what they wanted all along. They didn't necessarily want the money or something like that. But anyway, that's the game, as briefly as I could put it. Schweiss, what did you think of the story of Metal Gear Solid?
Deep Throat.
I think it's actually a pretty great story, and
There's a guy called Deep Throat.
Deep Throat nickname, yeah. That's hilarious. Just call me Deep Throat.
Oh, don't worry. Snake tests it out.
How deep can he go? All the way.
Can you take
Balls
take my recessive cock?
No, he has the dominant.
Yeah, he's got the dominant cock.
No,
take
he
my
doesn't
dominant
actually. If you watch past the credits, they talk about how Liquid was the one with all the dominant genes, and Snake was not.
Was Liquid just misinformed?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
There's like a big conspiracy. I think the story in Metal Gear Solid 1
It's
is
still stupid.
It is.
It makes no sense. Just because it's a dominant gene doesn't mean it's the better gene.
No,
No.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
The dominant gene doesn't work that way.
Unless it's in your case.
Thanks, a-hole.
Red hair, easily sunburned.
Yeah, I know. It must be rough. But if I've...
What's it like?
The
being a
reason I
human
have that
vampire?
mutation is because my people, when they lived so far north that there wasn't as much sunlight, in order to get more vitamin D, the body had to adjust over time and got lighter pigmentation so they could bring in more of the sun. So really, I'm just embracing more of the sun in my life than you are, Cameron.
It's great that you're living in an area where it's cloudy all the time.
Yeah, it's not. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, being sarcastic.
Okay, I can't tell right now. I really can't even function.
I think the game
Could you
is.
tell normally?
I think the game is pretty solid.
Is it Solid Snake?
Yeah.
Pretty liquid.
I think the storytelling is very planned ahead, especially having played Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. There are a lot of lines in Metal Gear Solid 1 that are not throwaway lines, like things that sound like just complete jargon within the game, like contextual and like just oh yeah, this happened in this place. Like it seems like something there where they would just say it, and it's not really meant to be read into necessarily. It's just like giving them momentary backstory. All of that is looked at later on in the series. So I think, personally, I think the storyline in Metal Gear Solid 1 is really good. I like the characters. I like their development. I like Snake. I like the way he handles things. The conflict with Liquid is interesting. I think
I like the way he handles things, except for a freaking sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Can't handle that worth crap, but go ahead.
Yeah, I love the way they handle like that sniper wolf when she dies. Like I thought that was an excellent cutscene. I was like, and like he's talking about how like wolves have honor and shit like that. And like the music, everything was just perfect in that scene. And I was like, man, this is a really good cutscene. It's crazy because this is an old school PS1 game. Like
Yeah.
and it's capturing this moment like perfectly. And I don't really have any problems with the story in Metal Gear Solid 1 personally. I think it's great. I think it's well told. I think I think overall everything is really good in it. I don't know. What about you?
I think it's really good, especially for the time. So that's how I like to kind of judge games. Is like, okay, I try to put my head in PS1 era mode. I'm not necessarily judging it with the same standards as a modern game, and it almost kind of kicked off the modern era of story-driven games. And I know it did that, and so it's like, I know it's super influential. They almost made it like it was a movie. They really used cutscenes to the nth degree, which could be annoying in a game that, say, has a worse story, like FF13, which also is a game with a bunch of cutscenes, but the story is not as good.
Yeah.
And so thus these cutscenes are more annoying than they are interesting. But the story in this game held up pretty well. It's got a lot of James Bond influence within it, and it's pretty obvious, but it's actually better than the James Bond movies were at the time this came out.
Yeah.
So that there is something to say about that. They actually did James Bond better. They did a better James Bond in the 90s than James Bond did through Metal Gear Solid. It's James Bond, but with a little bit of anime mixed in because of the genetic super soldiers are a little bit almost magic on some things. But I think they're supposed to be sort of semi-scientific or whatever.
Just don't doubt their dominant genes.
Yeah, the ESP or whatever.
Their genes are clearly dominant.
You can read your mind. He's got ESPN.
They're just made for dominating.
He's got ESPN.
He's got ESPN, man. But yeah, I thought it was really good. There are some moments that are, I guess, they're equal with 90s James Bond movies in stupidity. One of which is the dominant and recessive gene. It's like, wow, you did no research. You would have found this out in Biology 101. This is not how this works.
That one lady who wanted his solid snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely sexualize a character. It's hard to sexualize when you can't see anything on the screen. Like,
that voice, man. That voice.
Oh, yeah, the voice. They like give close-ups of her butt that are just a little bit over the top.
Just call me Deep Throat.
You guys are laughing at that, but it's like you guys don't know about who Deep Throat is from the code name the Washington Post gave the guy who was informing on the stuff during Watergate. They called him Deep Throat as a reference to the pornographic movie. But I think they actually say that entire explanation in the game, don't they?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then there's like some lines. There was a stupid line when the helicopter blew up, and he's like, I guess you don't have to spend money on the cremation or something. It was like, that was like Brosnan James Bond right there. That was bad. But otherwise, yeah, I thought it was pretty darn solid. Metal Gear solid, as it were.
Pretty darn gaseous.
And there's a lot of layers to the story in there. Obviously, this is the third game in the series, but no one's ever played the other two games. I mean, let's be real here.
That's not true. I've played Metal Gear.
Did you beat it?
No, I'm like in the middle of it.
And anyway, so there's already like a depth. There's already somewhat of a history with the story in the game, and then the other games, of course, even expand more on the giant cutscenes, and then very interesting gameplay of Metal Gear. I give story. I give story. That dominant recessive gene bugs the crap out of me. I give story an 8 out of 10.
It's like the mitochondria thing.
Mitochondria, stupid.
Mitochondria.
What? No.
From Parasite Eve, yeah.
He loves the mitochondria.
What about the metachlorians?
Yeah, it might as well be the same fucking thing.
I'm going to give the story a 9 out of 10. I think it's a great game. I think the story is excellently told. I didn't really have a problem with some of the cheese that came from the 90s that was in this game. It's kind of unavoidable. I don't know. I'm really impressed at.
I didn't minus the point for the cheese. I minus 2 points for dominant and recessive.
Yeah.
One for dominant, one for recessive.
There is some pseudoscience. There is some pseudoscience in the story, but overall, I think it serves the game's purposes very well. And
He's got brown hair. I've got blonde.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you. Oh yeah, and that other thing with the he falls in love with the girl in like a second.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't
like a literal like in an afternoon. He's like just destroyed at the possibility of her death. It's like, ooh.
I was gonna tap that
your
later.
Situation here. It's not like you.
I was gonna tap that. You don't understand.
She was mine.
Yeah, that is a part of the game that did kind of bother me. I guess that's fair to bring up. It just seemed like it came out of nowhere, like the love story. It was a little much, but I don't know. I thought it was great. What did you think of the gameplay? I mean, it's kind of a over the top camera angle to this stealth shooter, tactical espionage kind of game. There are some crazy things in the game where. Like the guards will see your footsteps and like you have to. There's certain parts of the game where you can smoke cigarettes, and the smoke from the cigarettes will help you like see the lasers in front of you. If you don't have the like infrared goggles, you can smoke instead, and you can see where the lasers are to avoid them and setting off the alarms. Like
the game doesn't tell you any of this really. If you go into the thing, they can kind of help you, which is a really good aspect of the game.
It's intuitive as hell, and there's even a part where
intuitive,
where
easy
you can
to understand.
Yeah, I think so. I think it
comes
works
naturally.
Well. I think it did. Yeah,
okay.
For me.
Someone else used the word intuitive incorrectly before.
I think it. I also like how there's one part in the game where you get the game doesn't take itself too seriously overall, and there's a part where you can like hide under a cardboard box from your enemies, and like you'll.
And that's where that meme came from, or just that now every time someone thinks of Solid Snake, they think of them in the cardboard box.
Yeah, you can hide in a cardboard box, and like the guys will walk up, they'll be like, "What?" And then they walk over to it, and they're like, "Just a box." And then they either kick it over and see that it's you underneath the box, or they turn around and leave, depending on what happens. And in the third game, I think it was the third or the second one, if they kick the box, you can like move your controller, like shake it, and you can like wiggle as the box, and like they just walk away and they just think it's a box chilling there.
Here's the thing. I want to do this review on the floor right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Lay down.
I have to unplug. I don't.
Do you want to just do the 10 elements of podcasting and re-record this later?
We're already so close.
I don't want to rush this game review, and I feel horrible, and I cannot pay attention. I just can't do it. I think you guys should do Getting Fat and put a pin in this one.
Put a pin in it, or are we just going to do it again?
Call this part one.
Yeah, let's just call this one part one. Part one.
Oh, this part one. Joe will feel better by next week because Joe's going to go crash on the couch and put earplugs in because I'm not feeling good at all.
Is it the headache?
It's the headache. It's the light. It's the sound of your voice.
My voice?
It's you're the only one talking, but I just
okay,
don't
hold
feel
on.
good.
What about my voice?
I just don't feel good.
Here's
man.
a sultry.
No,
I just don't feel good.
Yeah,
I need
at
this-
least tell me that my voice is good.
I'm sorry, Schweiss. I gotta stop.
Take on me.
Maybe it's because I didn't get enough sleep this week or something. It's just I don't feel good. How's your goals going, Craig?
They're going good. You know, keeping up on my comics, and I'm still behind on my books. Trying to read a few more of those so I can catch up. And well, I already failed the buying of games, so there's that. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah, it is. It's very cool. It's very grand.
Oh man, to live the life of a Craig.
You wish you could.
What would it be like to live a life of a Craig?
Well, you'd be everyone's favorite host. So I mean,
It's a simple life, I've heard.
Simple and, just you don't want much and you're happy with what you have.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, it's simple.
yeah, and you get to be King Hog.
So is that it? Is that all for you?
Yep, that's it for me.
Okay. Well, if we're going to be getting fat, I might as well gripe about the thing that I've been wanting to gripe about.
What's that?
So we all know my goal to save money, right? So I have some money saved up, which is great. And then, I don't know if I related this before, but my mom had her passport and all of her cards and stuff stolen, right?
Right.
And so she was trying to figure out a way how to get me her money from her bank, which we finally did. But in the meantime, I was giving her my money so she could, subsist day to day.
All right.
And we finally got her money out of her bank account, and she's like, well, I can't pay you all back right now because I need this money so I can get home. And then, so she hasn't really paid me back at all. So, yeah.
So she's
really mad
home
about
now?
that. No, she's not home yet. And I dread the day she comes home because she doesn't have anywhere to fucking live right now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you gave her money so that she could come back. And
No,
she's
I
not
gave her
back
money so
yet.
she could buy stuff and like food and pay for things while she's there.
Well, how much did you fucking spend?
How much did she spend?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, you gave her money
Yeah.
to live. What was
For a few days, yeah.
Yeah, what was she spending that she?
Well, she has to pay for the place that she's living at. She has to be able to
Right.
buy food and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, how much did you give her?
$450.
Jeez, for a few days.
Yeah.
How much is the place she's living at?
I don't know. But then she had $1,000 so I transferred $1,000 of her money from her bank account finally over to her. And so.
That sounds fun.
No, not at all. Yep. Not to mention her dog that I'm taking care of has like a fucking million bladder stones that she pees blood everywhere. And so vet bills for her hasn't been fun.
Jeez, dude. I don't even know what to say for that. It's terrible.
It's the worst too. Because it's not even the dog's fault. It's not the dog's fault to having all the bladder stones. But you know what really shits me off? Is I think my mom knew about it already too.
She must have.
Because when I fucking said, hey, I took her to the vet, they did an x-ray. She has a ton of bladder stones. And I said, they said the quote of the surgery at getting them out would be about this much. And she goes, well, this other doctor said it'd be about this much. I'm like, wait, what? Hold on a fucking second. So you're telling me you already knew about this and you didn't do a fucking thing about it? God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I hate to say this, but maybe you should just euthanize the dog.
I'm leaning towards it, but not because I want the dog gone, because the dog has a plethora of other health issues, and it just sucks to be alive as that dog right now.
A plethora of health issues, and your mom is not taking care
But the
of it.
question is, do you want it dead?
No, I don't want the dog dead.
Because you said you're not saying that you want it dead.
I don't want it dead. I don't want. So that dog has known me its entire life. I was there the day that dog was born.
Wow.
So,
And you will be there at its death.
you remember when all the little puppies were running around?
Yes.
It was the puppy that was in charge of the other puppies.
Oh, it was the dominant puppy.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
What about
now
the
it's not
recessive
dominant
puppy?
The recessive
They beat the shit out of
the
it.
recessive puppy that you named Moo. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Moo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love Moo. They look like a little cow.
Yeah, he did. And he was the recessive runt of the litter. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, she has a plethora of health problems. She has allergies, terrible, terrible allergies. She pees blood, and yeah. Yep.
So now goals aren't going
So,
well. And then
how
I had to dip into the funds, yeah.
How is your mom going to get back if she doesn't have
She's going to
her-
fly back.
Oh, well,
She has enough money to fly back.
Well, no, like, how is she going to get back if she doesn't have her passport?
So she went to the embassy. That's part of the 450. 150 of that went to getting her passport reissued from the embassy.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
how did it get not? How did you wait? What happened to it?
Okay, so some people don't know how to travel. Some people just don't have the foresight to plan for things. So I made two.
Is she one of these people?
Yes.
Okay.
So I made 2 photocopies of her passport,
one of those
right?
people.
I made 1 photocopy for me to keep and 1 photocopy for her to keep. Did she fucking take the photocopy of her passport that I made for her? No! She didn't take it. And then she is out and about with the person she's staying with, and she decides she wants to bring her entire purse that has her wallet, her cards, and her fucking passport with her to the beach, and she left it in the car. Some guy saw a fucking purse in this lady's car out at the beach, broke the window, stole her purse, and now had all of her stuff. Now, by the way, American passports are worth quite a bit on the black market because of that special chip that's in them. And yeah, all of it was fucking stolen. Yep. Along with all of her medication too. So
she just left it out and it got stolen?
She left it in a car. Yeah. So all that was stolen. I've been paying for it. She can't pay me back yet. So yeah, there's that.
God, dude.
It's going to be a while before she can pay you anything.
Yeah, especially since she doesn't have a job right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I would just consider that money gone if I were you.
I'm going to take it out of her. No, it's not. I'm going to get my due back.
Yeah? You're going to sell her on the street?
No.
Joe gave up, so we had to do our getting fat.
Yeah, so that's basically my week. So yeah.
What about you, Schweiss?
Well, I haven't been on the diet for like 3 days, so I'm getting fat as fuck.
In 3 days?
Yeah, you gain a lot of weight.
What the fuck have you been eating?
A lot of cookies. A lot of cookies. Really junking it out. I am still doing well on the financial goals. No way I'm going to read the books. Probably no way I'm going to do the fucking beating of the Craig at the Hog. I'm still going to try, but there's only so much I can do.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter.
3 games a week, man. You'll eventually catch up.
No, I don't think I will. If you're going to do 5 fucking games out of nowhere.
Some of those were already like halfway beaten.
Oh, I know. I understand.
So it's not going to be 5 games every time.
I don't fucking know that. You have plenty of games that you've started and never finished.
This week, this next week will probably only be like 3 games at most.
At most? 3?
I still okay. So I got to finish Resi 7, right? And then I'm going to try and finish Final Fantasy X.
Do you realize how fucking ridiculous that sounds, Caleb? I will beat 3 games at most this week.
Yeah, that's at most.
Jeez, Caleb.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's not going to go. What is your problem with that? I'm not setting a higher goal there because I could just plow through all those Telltale games in about a day.
No, you couldn't. They're 12 hours each.
No, they're not.
They are.
No, they're not.
Caleb.
That Batman one is not that long.
Well, it doesn't have all the seasons out and the chapters. It's got like
the
one.
Chapter 2 one, but yeah.
Chapter 1. Of course it's not that long. It's 2 fucking hours.
Dude, I got through half of that Telltale, the Borderlands one in like 3 hours.
No.
It's like 6 hours, dude.
It's longer than that. No. You don't know time.
Yeah, your concept of time is very skewed.
Caleb. I started in the morning and I started playing Destiny the rest of the day, and I had gotten halfway through that.
Caleb.
And I was playing Destiny for like 8 hours.
Caleb.
It is not that long.
Please stop yourself.
I can do it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm trying to do all of that. I haven't really been reading much. I've been mostly just playing video games nonstop. That's basically been my life recently. I am, like I said, I'm still doing well on my paying off the place. All that's doing all right. It could be better.
Aren't you? Did you hit your goal for that a while ago?
Yeah, I did, but I want to do 10,000 now.
So 3,000 above what you had before.
Yeah.
Okay. How close are you to that?
I think right now I'm at like 8,600, 8,700.
Oh, nice.
And I have November and December left, and I think I'll hit it. I should be fine. But yeah, it's kind of rough, but the biggest one is just I'm not losing any weight because I keep jumping off the diet on Friday because I give in to various random things. So I basically just throw away all of everything that I had done the rest of the week on Friday and start anew to then lose some weight and throw it away.
Look at that as the Phoenix's rebirth.
Yeah.
You die on the Friday, and then you resurrect on Monday.
More beautiful than ever.
Exactly.
Yeah, I am looking to, I don't know, part of me wants to make a goal next year on like just hammering my backlog, because I have so many games that I own and have not beaten. And the problem I run into, though, and the reason why the hog is so hard for me this year, is that I still, even though I'm burning through video games, I still have a sense of honor with those games. So, like, with Costume Quest 2, I beat it, and I had 60% of the trophies.
Right.
I went back in, spent another 2.5, 3 hours, got the rest of the trophies, and then I deleted it off my PS3.
Huh.
That's what I'm going to do, and that's why I played, I'm playing Vanquish on hard. It is not fucking easy. It is a hard game.
Dude, it is not very easy on normal. There are some ridiculous parts.
Yeah, is the ending really hard?
Yeah, there are moments.
Okay, because I'm in chapter 5 now, or act 5. So I am at the very end of the game, but I look at it and I'm like, okay, 2% of people have platinumed this game. What would it take for me to platinum it? It would take me going through on hard, first playthrough, exiting out to the menu every time I die to not continue my game through there so I can get that trophy. And then it would take me beating the challenges, which I do hear some of those the last challenge mission is like godly in its difficulty level. So I've got that, and then I've got a bunch of cleanup with those figurines that you find, and then like just random trophies throughout. But I can do those on easy.
Yeah. You could have also done the one where you don't die on easy.
Yeah, I could have, but if I do it on hard, I can take care of all of that and not have to really do the campaign other than going in and getting the collectible items.
That's true.
So I'm enjoying it, and that's the problem that's been killing me for the hog this year, is that I want to get completion. I'm a completionist at heart. So, like, I go back to Final Fantasy 12 and put in another 20 hours to try to get all the trophies in it. Like, I could have beaten it and just left it and beaten another game in that time, but I want to fully experience, fully justify that $200 purchase of Final Fantasy 12. And I think the only way I can do that is getting that sweet platinum.
You should count the original buying of 12 in that as well.
Yeah, so it's
like $300 something bucks.
Yeah, it's like a $300 game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's going all right, though, other than the ones that I've completely and totally failed at. Obviously, I've bought games. I've been buying a bunch of PSP games to play when I have a quick second here and there.
A quick second? Yeah.
Yeah.
More like a quick couple hours.
Just at work, you've all played.
Yeah.
Just quick, just it's reasonable.
You do what you can, you know? If you had time to game at work, would you?
If it was guilt-free, if it was consequence-free.
It is consequence-free if I don't get busted.
Play.
And I haven't gotten busted, so it is consequence-free up to this point. I bought the fucking 300 game, Craig. That's how fucking desperate I am to beat you.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Because it was the only one other than the PSP Katamari game that looked interesting to me. It was the only one.
Did you get the Katamari game?
No, I didn't.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know what possessed me.
You would have enjoyed that one way more.
You don't know that. This could be a great sleeper hit.
What was that?
No. It's based off of a movie, Schweiss. We all know what that means.
Doesn't matter. Maybe I'll nominate
What
this
was
for
that?
the next,
What was that
oh my God.
PSP game where you played like those musical notes and you would summon more soldiers based off of the beat that you would do?
Oh, Patapon?
Yeah, Patapon. Get that game.
Yeah, there's like
that
3 of
game
those.
Is fucking amazing. Patapon. Patapon.
Yeah, you play as a god. You'd love it.
Oh yeah, it's great.
All right, perhaps. The one big, the big problem I've had, like I said, is just
Isn't there a Metal Gear Solid game for the PSP?
there are multiple. Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy them, and there are 2 Grand Theft Auto games as well that I'm gonna buy.
Like the Chinatown Wars?
No, there's Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories, and then Chinatown Wars. But I don't care about that one.
Is that one on the PSP or was that on DS?
I don't know. It might have been on the DS, actually. But
I know there's one on the DS.
I think they might have been on both.
It might have been on both.
But yeah, it's kind of fun though rediscovering the PSP. There are a lot of great games on that console, and
the best handheld.
It is pretty good.
The best handheld ever.
Well, not ever, but it is a good one.
I found a lot of great games in the last little bit. Like that Silent Hill Origins was really fun. Daxter was a really good game. Like
Daxter was sweet.
Yeah, it was way good. And the funny thing is Ready at Dawn, the guys who did the mobile or the PSP God of War game, Chains of Olympus, they're the ones who made the Daxter game.
Yeah.
But the guys who made the Ratchet and Clank game were former Naughty Dog and what's the other company? Naughty Dog and Insomniac employees.
Yeah.
That made that company, and they make all like the shitty ones, the ones that I don't like. the Final Frontier, the Jack Final Frontier game, and then the fucking Ratchet and Clank Size Matters asshole game.
Asshole game?
Yeah, it's so brutal, dude. I don't enjoy it. But it's just funny how the people that weren't from their company make better games of their IPs than they do. But I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. So I think I just need to concentrate more and not worry about trophies.
You got that 3DS as well. You need to play some games on that.
Yeah.
There's quite a few you could do.
I know. It just hurts me.
It hurts you? How?
Because I don't like it as much. I don't like the DS.
You gotta fucking discover the games on there that you like. I mean, you're doing it with the PSP.
I am doing it with the PSP, but the PSP looks better, so
PSP superior.
Just gotta find the games, man.
But I am going to start playing around with more mobile games like that, more handheld, and hopefully I can find some.
Gonna get some like Game Boy emulators for your computer.
Maybe
just plow through everything at like super speed.
Perhaps.
It'd be a quick way to play through Pokemon.
Yeah, it would be a quick way. That's the only way. It's the fastest way for Pokemon. But yeah, do you guys have anything else you want to say? Because I'm pretty much done. I wanted to review Metal Gear Solid, but couldn't.
Yeah.
It's
unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. All right, guys. Well, like we said, we will do the Metal Gear Solid review next time when Joe's not dying on my couch. But until then,
enjoy the nude.
Yeah.
May the list go on.
Live always in the nude.
I want to go poke Joe so he'll tell me to fuck off. Systems to play it on.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I accidentally exited out of the theme song, so this will not be a video that is exported to Twitch and or YouTube because, well, we didn't have sound for the first 20 fucking minutes. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.